Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here today. I'm actually going to invite you all to come down on your backs to start our class this morning. So feel free to just set your blocks or blankets off to the side and come down to a lying position on your back, keeping your knees bent to protect your low back as you just lower yourself down. Bring your head in line with your spine so your gaze is straight up at the ceiling. And let's keep our knees bent. Walk your feet out toward the edges of your mat, letting your thighs rest toward each other at the center. You can feel free to just let your arms rest down beside you, or if you prefer, bring hands to rest on your belly and your heart. Let's begin just by loosening up through the jaw, allowing your teeth to separate, and then gently begin to rock your head side to side. Just moving really slowly as you massage across the back of your head. Bringing your head back into a neutral position. Take a slight tuck of your chin to lengthen your neck. Eyes can softly gaze at the ceiling, or you might just close your eyes for the next few minutes. And taking this time to bring your attention to your breathing. Releasing tension from your abdomen, from your shoulders. And slowly allowing your breath to lengthen. Letting every inhale fill you up, expanding your chest. And every exhale helps your body to relax against the floor. Sense the line of gravity beneath you, keeping you rooted down. And just notice what effect that has on your body and on your mind as you let your attention hang out in that place where you are connected to the floor. Just feeling all those points of contact and grounding. Your eyes can stay closed, or you might flutter your eyelids open. And so I'll take our arms out to a T from your shoulders. Turn the palms down onto the floor for a little more leverage. And then gently begin to windshield wiper your knees. So letting both knees fall to the right side. And then drawing knees back up through center and letting them fall to your left. Move at your own pace. Just taking it a little slower in the beginning of your practice. And I invite you to also move your head side to side. So as your knees fall to the right, you might gaze to your left, spiraling that twist up your spine. And then knees to the left, gaze to the right. Once again, let's make our way back to center, the neutral spine. Lift your right knee and draw your right knee into your chest, bringing both hands around your knee or around the back of your right thigh, whichever grip is most comfortable in your body. You might keep your left foot planted with your left knee bent, but if it's available in your body and it feels okay, you can start to extend your left leg long, letting it rest on your mat. Hug your right thigh in towards your belly, opening across your hips, and draw a few circles with your right foot. Let's circle your foot, your ankle in the other direction. And letting your foot relax. Let's all hold behind the right thigh at this point and start to send your right foot up toward the ceiling. Now you reach up with the ball of your foot, drawing your toes back slightly, extending your leg just to your degree. I just want to remind everyone to take care of your body in your practice today. Just only taking each pose to the extent that it feels comfortable and still allows you to breathe. 3 more breaths, drawing your right thigh a little closer to your body. With your third exhale, bend your right knee and bring your right foot back down to the floor. We'll simply switch legs, lifting left knee, wrapping your hands either around the front of your shin or around your thigh, and just squeezing that left thigh in towards your belly. You have the option to extend your right leg here, just as you did on the other side. It's beginning to circle through left ankle and foot, moving all the way through your toes. And circling the other way. And then when you're ready, both hands come behind your left thigh. Let's extend the leg. Left ball of your foot reaches up toward the ceiling. Pressing the back of your thigh into your hands to help to lengthen your leg. But of course, your knee can stay bent any amount here. Long, smooth breaths. As you exhale, bend left knee, plant your left foot back on the floor. Now bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open out to the sides. Now, of course, you can bring blocks or pillows underneath your thighs here to offer a little additional support. And I really recommend using props to add comfort to your practice so that you can breathe easily. Your hands can just rest on your thighs here, softly encouraging the hips to open. Or if you'd like a little more length in the sides of your body, reach your arms above your head and then bend your elbows and hold opposite elbows, just letting your arms and shoulders rest against the floor above your head. Relax your jaw, soften your belly. Bring your arms down, hands outside of your thighs. Use your arm and your inner thigh strength to lift your knees back to center, plant your feet on the floor. I'll offer you the choice here. You can either just roll over to your side and then push yourself up to a comfortable seat, or if you want a little core work, lift your knees, hold behind your thighs, and then tuck your chin. We'll really engage the abdomen here, hugging the navel in as you start to rock and roll up and down the length of your spine. So you're really using your abdominal muscles here to build some momentum. And you might find 5 or 6 rocks until you make your way all the way up. And then we'll find a comfortable seat. This is a great time to bring a block or a blanket underneath you, offering yourself some additional padding. And comfortable seat might be cross-legged, but you can of course extend one or both legs. Just want you to be able to be comfortable for our seated poses. Keeping your spine tall, the shoulders stacking above your hips, your heart gently lifting. Take a full round of breath here, just settling into the seated pose. Feel the length of your spine. Relaxing your jaw, begin to lower your chin toward your chest. Just gently stretching the back of your neck. And from here, we'll draw left ear up to left shoulder. Lowering your chin back down to the center of your chest. Right ear to right shoulder. Move slowly, finding a few more sweeps of your head side to side. Let's begin to lower your chin to the center of your chest. From there, bring your head back up to neutral. Using an inhale, sweep your arms out and up, joining your palms above you or in front of you. Exhale, hands to heart center, shoulders slide down your back. Another inhale, circling arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. From here, interlace your fingers and press your palms forward. Now, if your shoulders are feeling a little tighter this morning, you might turn your palms to face you instead with your hands interlaced. If shoulders are feeling more open, palms press forward. From here, begin to float your arms and hands up toward the ceiling. Energetically pulling your arms away from each other, but keeping your fingers interlaced. You'll notice that that makes your arms strengthen up. Finding some fuller breaths. Let's find another full round of breath. If it's available, move your biceps back slightly, beside your ears, maybe behind your ears. And then use your exhale to glide your hands straight down the front. Releasing, interlace, make fists. Let's circle our wrists a few times. Getting the wrists ready for our table pose and our downward dog. Give your hands a nice shake. And let's inhale, arms sweep out and up again. This time, as you exhale, bring your right hand down, reaching left arm up and over for a side stretch. Now keep your left sits bone connecting to your blanket or mat. Left arm can just stay long and extending here, or you can bend your elbow, press your head back into your hand. Just moving your gaze toward the ceiling. Let's inhale, extend the left arm if you've bent the elbow. Exhale, release your side bend. Bring both hands to rest on your thighs. Take a moment just to sense into any difference on the left side versus the right. Staying connected to your breathing. Let's find our way into the other side. Inhale, both arms sweep up. Exhale, left hand down this time, reaching up and over with the right arm. Notice if your shoulders, especially that left shoulder, is hugged up into your ear, and try to relax it down in a way so that your neck can be really long. And if you bent your elbow on the first side, you might explore that here, pressing the back of your head gently into your hand as your elbow lifts. Inhale, extend the arms straight. Exhale, release your side bend. From neutral, bring your fingertips behind you, tent them on the floor. Fingertips are pointing toward the wall behind you. Draw your shoulders together on your back, squeezing your shoulder blades. And then start to lift your heart up toward the ceiling, finding a gentle arch in your upper spine. You can gaze toward the ceiling, but try not to let your head fall all the way back with no control. And keep a little bit of awareness in your neck. And slowly begin to release back to neutral, and we'll move straight into a forward fold over the legs. So hands walk in front of your legs, any amount, trying to keep a relatively long spine as your heart reaches over your thighs, maybe even in front of your thighs. It's folding to your degree. Elbows might come down onto a block or the floor. Lift your gaze, walk your hands back toward your seat. And let's transition into a tabletop position. Moving toward hands and knees. And this is a great time to open up your blanket or a towel across your mat so you can protect your kneecaps from the hard floor. If you're practicing on a carpet, you probably don't need to do that. For table pose, take your hands, your fingers out wide. Wrists should fall just beneath your shoulders. Really strengthening up through your arms and pressing down through the palms. Walk your knees out to hips width distance, tops of your feet pressing down into the floor behind your knees. Long breath in here and a full breath out, just pressing down with hands, knees, and the tops of your feet. And I'll invite you to start with some hip circles today. Sending the hips all the way over to the right side, pressing them back toward or to your heels, and drawing your hips up your left side. Continuing finding your own rhythm here, and you might make really small hip circles, or you might find bigger ones. As you're ready, you can start to circle your hips moving in the other direction. Drawing hips up the right side, across center, and then back and down the left side. Finding your way back into a neutral tabletop. You might need to readjust where your knees and your hands are. With your inhale, lower your belly, lift your gaze. Draw your shoulders back and reach your heart forward. With an exhale, navel draws in. Round your spine, curl your tailbone under and tuck your chin. Just 3 more rounds of cat-cow following your own breath. Inhales as you arch. Exhales as you round. After your next round, make your way back to a neutral spine. Let's find child's pose. Knees walk out to the edges of your mat. Big toes touch behind you. Press your hips back any amount. They can float high above your heels, or if it's available, they might rest on your heels. Walk your hands forward as you lower your head down to a block or the mat. As you inhale, move your gaze to the front of your mat and make your way back up onto hands and knees, and just lower yourself down onto your belly in whatever way makes the most sense for you. You can leave your blanket where it is for now. The tops of your feet should be pressing down firmly into the mat, and walk your hands back till your fingertips are in line with your low ribs. Draw the shoulders down your back, hugging elbows in. Using an inhale, make your way into a baby cobra. So hands stay down, just letting the heart lift away from the floor, gazing down the line of your nose. Evening out your breath. Using an exhale, let's release, bringing one cheek all the way down to the floor, and send your arms down beside your body, and the back of your hands on your mat. I'll move into one more gentle back bend and shoulder opener here. So gazing down again, down the line of your nose. This time, let's interlace fingers behind your back. Press the tops of your feet down, strengthening up your legs. And then as you inhale, heart lifts, shoulders draw together, and send that fist toward the wall behind you. As you exhale, gently lower back down, releasing your shoulders, releasing your hands back to the mat. Feel free to rock your hips side to side, particularly if you feel any tension in your low back. Find a breath just lying in stillness on your belly, feeling the front of your body supported. Take your time, walk your hands back under your shoulders. As you inhale, push yourself up onto your hands and knees. And you can stay in table pose today. If you feel comfortable with a down dog, tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back as you press firmly into your palms to lengthen your spine. Feel free to keep your knees bent in your down dog if that's what allows you to lift your tailbone high, lengthening through the middle and lower back. And of course, you might also explore lengthening your legs, sending those heels down toward the floor, walking it out by bending one knee and then the next. Let your head nod, your mouth open. Four more breaths in table or downward facing dog. At the bottom of your next exhale, gaze forward. If you're in down dog, bend your knees. Everyone, take as many steps as you'd like to make it up to the front of your mat. Keep your knees slightly bent at the front, your feet hips width distance. Inhale up into a flat back. So you slide your hands up your shins, draw your shoulders back, and find some length here with your spine. As you exhale, soften your knees, belly to thighs, fold the rest of the way forward. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold over your legs and release. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Let's hang out in this forward fold. You can let the back of your hands rest on blocks or the floor, or you can find a rag doll interlacing hands into your elbow creases. Exploring how your feet are holding you. Are you standing only in your heels or just in the balls and toes? Feel free to explore some movement here, shifting your weight, rocking through your hips. Release your hands down, either to the floor or to your blocks, framing your feet. Let's step the left foot all the way back and then lower your left knee down to the floor. So we'll find our low lunge. The right foot is forward. You can use your blocks here. You don't have to. If you don't have blocks or you don't want to use them, you can just bring fingertips onto the floor to frame your front foot. Right knee stacks above your ankle as your heart starts to lift away from your front thigh. I'll invite you to find a little movement here, just letting your hips rock back slightly and then forward. Just moving through that a few more times, a very small movement to gently encourage some opening across your hips. Let's once again find that neutral low lunge position, strengthening up through your thighs. Use an inhale to lift your upper body. Now, hands might rest on that front leg, or you might sweep your arms up, biceps beside your ears. Gaze landing at a spot directly in front of you. For anyone who has shoulder issues that make it challenging or painful to have your arms straight up, then bend at your elbows. Let your shoulders broaden, your palms turn forward. We're still getting that sense of lift in the upper body, even if the elbows are bent. I'll offer two options for our twist from here. The first option is to take a prayer twist, joining the palms together, bringing hands to heart center. From here, you'll start to turn your upper body to the right and work the back of your left arm onto your right thigh, stacking your elbows together, pressing your palms together, and gazing to your right. If you prefer, bring your left hand down to a block or the floor and reach your right hand up toward the ceiling. Reconnect with your breathing for about 5 long breaths in your twist. Let's exhale and release the twist. Bring your hands back to the floor or your blocks around your front foot. Tuck your back toes under and lift your back knee. From here, take one or more steps to bring your back foot up to the front foot and fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Hands to the floor or blocks. Let's step the right foot back. So we're just going to switch sides and find that same exact lunge. So the left foot is forward. We're on our right knee. Hands framing the front foot on blocks or the floor. Let your heart find a lift coming away from that front thigh, even if it's just lifting energetically, it's not actually moving off the thigh. And then we'll start to rock through the hips a little bit, just letting them shift forward and back. And then finding a neutral lunge, engaging your core. Using your inhale, lift your upper body, bringing your hands onto your front thigh or sweeping the arms up, either straightening the elbows or bending your elbows again for that cactus arm variation. For your twist, you have those two options again, either taking the prayer twist with the palms pressing together at heart center and turning your upper body to your left as you work the outside of your right arm, cross your left thigh. Other option is right hand comes onto a block or the floor, and your left arm reaches up to twist through your spine. Just lengthening and slowing your breathing for about 5 long breaths. Using an exhale, gaze down and release your twist, bringing both hands to rest on the floor or blocks around front foot. Let's tuck back toes under, lifting your back knee. Find one or more steps to the front of your mat and fold over your legs. Big breath in through your nose and then sigh it out your mouth. Using an inhale, come up into a flat back. Exhale here, keeping a long spine. With your next inhale, press down into your feet and gently rise with a flat back, coming up to standing. Just finding that mountain pose with your palms spinning forward, shoulders coming toward each other on your back. Notice how your feet have landed, if you're equally weighted across both of your feet. Letting your tailbone drop straight down, your shoulders soften away from your ears, and a lift, gentle lift from the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. Let's find 3 sun breaths. Inhale, sweep arms out and up. If you'd like, gaze to your thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center. 2 more, just using your breathing. After that 3rd round, bring your hands onto your hips. And we'll step the left foot back again for a warrior 1. So make sure your feet are slightly offset here. Right foot more to the right side of your mat, left foot more to the left side. Bending into the front knee. Using your hands on your hips to help them square a bit more toward the front of your mat. Let's all really fire up through the back leg, pressing down through the outside edge of the foot and the heel. I will offer that this can be a little wonky for anyone who has hip or knee stuff. So another option that's very similar is actually to come up onto the back toes so your hips are square forward. So if you want to try that variation of warrior 1, instead of having that more open shape in the hips, you can feel free to just come up onto those back toes. Engaging your core, start to sweep your arms up once again. Soften your gaze at a single point in front of you. Keeping your belly strong and your back straight, start to hinge at the hips to a 45-degree angle. So you really have to work your core here in your arms. If your arms get tired, give them a rest by bringing hands onto your hips. Keeping that belly strong. Let's find 3 more breaths. Nice. With your next inhale, lift back up, warrior one. Exhale, hands to hips. From here, start to straighten into your front knee, but try not to lock your knee. With the hands at your hips, we're going to do that same hinge at the hips. So we're not rounding the back. Instead, we're really folding at that hip crease there. So keeping the back straight, start to lift your heart. And then reach your heart forward, belly strong, as you fold about halfway over that front leg. Keeping a micro bend in your front knee. This might be enough in your hamstring, so you can just stay here. If you want a little bit more, and it's okay for you, bring hands to blocks or the floor and fold over your front leg. Your head can just relax down, maybe give it a nod or shake. Begin to lift your gaze and use it in inhale to come up with a flat back, bringing your hands onto your hips again. From here, we'll pivot the feet until we're in a wide-legged stance, facing the side of the mat. And I'll invite you to step your toes out a little bit, heels in, and then bend your knees, dropping your hips down low. You might slide your hands down to just above the knees on the inside of your thighs, helping your hips to open up a bit more. Now I'll invite you just to find some movement through your hips and tailbone. I like to draw figure eights or the infinity symbol, but you can just sway side to side. You could circle. Find any movements that seem to encourage a bit more opening across your hips. Just coming back to a neutral place. Let's bring hands back to hips. Press down into your feet. Ooh, make your way back up to standing. Now we'll find a warrior one with the other foot forward. So I'm just going to turn to face the other direction on my mat. You can switch legs if you want. We want the left foot to be in the front this time. As that reminder, your back foot can be planted and at a slight angle up to the right, or you might come up onto your back toes to help square your hips and your knees without kind of cranking on the knee. Nice lunge into the front knee, hips squaring toward the front of the mat. As you're ready, add on your arms. And just settle into your breath, connecting with your feet on the floor for balance. Engage your abdomen and start to hinge at the hips, coming to a 45-degree angle with your spine. Arms can stay lifted to build more strength and more heat. If you need a rest, let your hands just come onto your hips. But keep that core engaged to hover your upper body over your front leg. Using an inhale, come back up, warrior one. Exhale, hands to hips. Begin to straighten into your front knee without locking it. If you need a little shorter stance, you can shorten it up a bit. So both legs straight, but keep a micro bend in your front knee for safety. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, hinge at the hips as you reach your heart about halfway down over your front leg. Keeping your back long here. And you can stay where you are or fold any further over your front leg. If you want to bring your hands down, let your head relax, feel free. As inhale, start to gaze forward. Strengthen up your legs and bring your hands onto your hips. With an inhale, push down into your feet to rise with the upper body. Back up to standing. And then simply make your way up to the front of your mat. Feet beneath your hips. Finding mountain pose again. And we'll breathe here for 5. Feel free to close your eyes. Just move your gaze inward, sensing how things might have shifted internally for you since you began your practice this morning. Blink your eyes open if they're closed. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the ceiling. Softening your knees, exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees and plant your palms. Let's walk or step the feet back into a plank pose. You can always lower your knees if you need a rest from this full-on push-up position, strengthening up through your biceps and your core. 4 breaths. 3 breaths. 2 more. And 1. Using your exhale, you can either bring your knees down and bend your elbows to lower onto your belly, or lower in one piece onto your belly. Rolling over your toes. Let's press the tops of your feet down. Slide your palms back as your shoulders draw together. As you inhale, lift up into a cobra of any amount, just keeping lowest hip points, or your only hip points, I should say, connected to the ground. Heart reaching forward, neck is long. As you exhale, gently roll down, bring one cheek to the ground and send your arms down beside you. Breathing on your belly. If you need to loosen up your low back, bend your knees and let your heels fall to either side. Let your legs rest on your mat. Plant your palms. And let's make our way back up, either into a table pose or downward facing dog. From either pose, inhale, your right leg reaches up and back. Keeping hips square, just lifting with your heel, your inner thigh. Let's exhale back to down dog or table. Inhale, left leg floats up. Let's exhale back to down dog or table and make your way to the front of the mat, gazing forward and walking or stepping. Once you've arrived at the front, feel free to take your time to get there, no rush. We'll inhale and meet in a flat back. As you exhale, soften your knees and fold. Keeping knees bent, gaze forward. Flip your palms over, and as you inhale, sweep arms out and up, rising to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Rest your thumbs to the center of your chest. Let your eyes close if that's comfortable. See if you are sensing your heartbeat, your breath, any sense of energy pulsing through your body. Letting your eyes open if they're closed. Bring your hands onto your hips. We'll find a warrior two with the right foot forward. So this time, feet are more in one line. That back foot is at an angle to the left, while your front foot, the right foot, points forward. Bending into the front knee. Hips are really opening this time. Strong back leg. Arms can reach out from the shoulders. And softening your gaze in front of you. We'll do some dynamic movement here. As you inhale, flip your front palm and reverse your warrior. Just reaching that right hand up, gazing up. And then as you exhale, We'll find a side angle, right forearm to right thigh, left arm to the ceiling. If it's comfortable in your left shoulder, you can reach left arm all the way overhead instead. All right, let's do that a few more times. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle. Take your time to really settle into each shape. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Let's hold the side angle pose. So left arm can reach straight up or overhead, spinning pinky down toward the floor. Trying to open your heart toward the left side of your room. Gazing left, or maybe even lifting your gaze under your left arm. Press down into your feet. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front knee. Let's exhale into triangle, reaching right arm forward and then pivoting your shoulders. Right hand to right shin or a block. Left arm reaches straight up. Keep a long spine here. Extending your spine over your front leg. Let's find a slight bend in the front knee. Push into your feet and inhale, just back up. Hands can come onto your hips. You can either step forward and just switch sides, or you might just pivot your feet on your mat and find a warrior two shape in the other direction. That's up to you. I know you might not be looking at the camera if you turn around on your mat, but just gonna have warrior two with our left foot forward this time. Arms extending over the legs, gazing over left fingertips. And just sensing into the strength of your legs, the softness in your shoulders, your neck and jaw. Start to find our dynamic movement, flipping front palm. Inhale to reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle pose. Again, this right arm can just reach straight up. Only if it's okay in your shoulder, you can reach it long overhead. Continuing with your breath. Inhales, reverse. And exhale, side angle pose. And front knee stays bent the whole time. We're really just moving the upper body. Let's find one more round, and then we'll hold our side angle pose. Spinning your heart to the right, gazing right or underneath your lifted arm. Press down into your feet. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten front knee without locking. And exhale into your triangle, reaching right hand forward, then pivoting, or left hand forward, then pivoting shoulders, keeping your spine long. Press down into your feet. As you inhale, just lift your upper body. From here, take as many steps as you'd like to make your way back up to the front of your mat. And we'll find a final mountain pose there, just that equal standing pose. Stacking the joints in your body, feet rooting down, crown rising up. Using an inhale, circle arms out and up. Then softening knees. Let's hinge at the hips and dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your palms, walk or step your feet back. You can find a child's pose or a table, or flow through a vinyasa of your choice with your breath. Exhaling to lower. Inhaling to find your back bend, Cobra, or maybe an upward dog. As you exhale, back to down dog or table pose. And we'll just spend 5 final breaths wherever you've landed. Reconnecting with your breathing. Sensing the aliveness in your body, fingertips to toe tips. As you feel ready, gently lower knees down. And let's all make our way around to seated and then down onto your back. So however that makes sense for you to get all the way down, just find your way onto your back with knees bent. And once your back is on the ground, your head in line with your spine, draw both knees into your chest and take hands around the front of your shins. Let's draw our knees out wide. Just one more hip opener. And if you'd like to rock side to side here, you can feel free to do that. A slightly more intense version of this pose is a happy baby. If you feel so inclined to reach up and grab the soles of your feet, you can explore some movement there as well. Let your jaw relax, your head rock side to side. And then gently draw knees back into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself a big squeeze. If it's all right in your neck, you can even lift your head and really hug yourself into a tight little ball. I love the name of this pose. It's called seed pose, like a little seed under the ground, just ready to sprout, all furled up. At your own pace, settle your body down into Shavasana. Resting pose. Legs can go extended, arms down beside the body, head in a straight line with your spine. If you'd like more support for your low back, it's a great idea to roll up a blanket and just bring it under your knees. Draw shoulders down away from ears, lengthening your neck, separating your teeth so that your jaw can relax. Your eyes can start to soften in their sockets, either gazing at a single point, just going out of focus a little bit, or closing your eyes. We'll conclude our practice today, or our physical practice, with just a long, deep sigh at your own pace, finding a deep breath in through your nose, feeling how it expands your upper body. And open your mouth and just let it all out. Very slowly bring your attention back to your breathing, keeping your body in stillness, sensing your natural breath for a few rounds. Can you imagine your breathing? That breath is entering every cell of your body. With each inhale, there's a slight expansion of every part of you. As you breathe out, can you imagine every cell relaxing and releasing? Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Unhinging your jaw. Once again, let your head rock slowly side to side. At your own pace, draw your knees into your chest. Roll yourself over onto either side. Spending a moment there, just letting your body rest in the fetal position, in a shape of new beginnings. Begin to press yourself back up and find any kind of comfortable seat, keeping your eyes closed or your gaze soft. Once you're in seated, I invite you to join palms together at heart center, lowering chin forward. Just in a little bow to yourself, a bow of appreciation and gratitude for all of your efforts in being here today, and gratitude for all the things that made it possible for you to practice yoga. And thanks so much to everyone for joining in today. I bow to you. Namaste.